Hi, my name is Morgan, and I will be the coach for this session.
And my name is Sean, and I will be the coaching partner.
And this is week 6 coaching session. So, Sean, before we begin, I just need to go over our confidentiality agreement. I would like to record our session um, to document our interaction to assist me in improving my interviewing skill set. The recording will only be listened to by myself and Arizona State trainers involved in my coaching. To protect your privacy, I will avoid using your name whenever possible. Participating in the recording is entirely voluntary. If you wish to not be recorded, that is okay. If you agree to participate but wish at any time to stop the recording, I will do so at your request. Do you offer your permission to record our session today?
Yes, I do.
All right. So this session today is going to help you with goal setting. Today we'll be using the well vision form. Do you have any long-term goals, like two long-term goals that you'd like to set for yourself?
The two long-term goals I would have to say would be 30 pounds in 3 months, and my second long-term goal would be trying to become vegan at some point.
Okay, sounds good. What about two, not short-term goals, but two goals that you would set in like a weekly manner?
Well, for my first goal to lose the 30 pounds in 3 months, I would definitely have to say probably walk about 10,000 steps a day. I think that would be a good benchmark, I guess. And for becoming vegan for 3 months, I would definitely have to say I need to meal prep.
Okay, those are perfect goals that we can improve on. So I guess I will ask you some questions that pertain to you, how you're going to feel throughout this process, and thoughts that you may think throughout this process.
Yeah.
So first, what makes you thrive throughout your day-to-day living?
I would definitely have to say what makes me thrive is being physically fit.
Okay, and how do you see yourself? Um, what engages you to be physically fit? How do you get to that point?
I guess it's always been like a sense of competition, and I think I've always had that in the sense of like I've always played sports since I was little.
Okay.
So I think always having something like competitive, something to read, something like that, what makes me like love that sense of being physically fit.
That's great. Um, Competition is sometimes seen to be negative, and it does fuel the fire for many people to succeed. So I think that's a great thing to that helps you engage in your life and that you thrive off of. Um, what elements about yourself do you feel the best about?
Um, I would definitely have to say my passion. Um, just simply because I feel like once I have that passion to do something, it's hard for me to kind of stop. Um, Another element that I think I have is I'd have to say probably not sure actually.
That's all right. I mean, sometimes it'll just come to you as the session goes on, so that's okay. Um, since you've had such good feelings behind competition and being passionate about that, do you have any stories of success where you saw that those things fueled you and that you saw a good outcome from that?
Well, I could definitely tell, especially back when I was back in like high school and like early 20s, when I was playing a sport, I could definitely see myself eating healthier and being more active. It was, and it was like the more passionate I was about the sport, the more I took care of my body and made sure I was eating the right stuff, made sure I was working out. But then it was like when I stopped playing those sports is when it all went down.
Okay. So it's almost like it's all or nothing for you. Does that sound right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. To get you back on track, what do you find your three greatest strengths are?
One strength is I would definitely have to say is once I start doing something, I don't quit. A second strength I would have to say is my ability to ask for help. Um, and my third strength, I would say it's probably when I can sense that I guess I can sense when I'm doing something wrong or when I've taken a step back from whatever I'm doing.
Now, what we think may be strengths for us um, may not necessarily be what others see in us as strengths. Is there something that people compliment you on that you may not necessarily think as a strength, but people tell you this, like you're great at this all the time, or you do this really well, or um, I'm inspired that you do X, Y, and Z.
People definitely tell me that they see that I have a lot of energy, and they always seem to kind of feed off that and always give me compliments like how do you have so much energy? And when I do activity, it seems like I just have so much energy to I want to get this done. I want to do it now. I want to do so. Yeah, I would definitely say energy.
I mean, although you may not think that's still energy, people do feed a lot off of energy, and people are motivated when they see other people doing, things either great or things fast, and sometimes people are motivated off of someone else's initiative. So that's great. I mean, energy, although you may not see it as a skill set, is definitely a skill set to have, and people like that. Moving on, what what do you think is most important to you in life?
Um,
And it
uh,
can be anything.
okay. I would think uh, things that are most important to me in life are definitely my family. I mean, I always want to make sure that not just that I'm healthy, but I want all my family members to be healthy and to live as long as possible. But also, I'd have to say, when it comes to me, I what's important to me is my overall health, my spiritual health, my mental health, my physical health. I want them all to be equal and as high as possible.
Uh-huh. Now, at the end of, not even at the end of um, this particular um, coaching session, but just in general, at the end of the day, what kind of person do you want to be? If you were to walk out of, you know, this door and tell me that, this was your last session, what kind of person would you want to be leaving here today?
I would want to be somebody who can pass on, helpful knowledge about their health. I want to be somebody that people can come to and, well, how did you succeed at your goal? Um, what steps did you take? How did you become a healthier person? How did you get to the point where your mental, spiritual, and physical health are all at the same level and are as high as possible? I want to be that type of person.
And I think that's great. Being a well-balanced, knowledgeable person to where you can um, share your success story and help somebody with their success story, I think is always a very motivating thing to look at. I definitely think we need more people out there lending a hand when it comes to um, like an overall balance. So with with your dreams, what do you aspire to be or do in life that helps you with your goals?
Well, actually, I want to be a physical therapist.
Okay.
So that is something I've been dreaming about. It's something that I've been actually doing for quite a while now.
Okay.
And I can definitely take pieces of that to improve my own health.
So not only is physical therapy like a motivator for you, but it's also kind of one of those long-term, further out goals that you've set for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So what benefits do you find that making these changes now will do for you in the long run?
Well, definitely I can see that me changing my eating habits and even lowering my weight will just help me, naturally from chronic illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure. I know it's kind of little stuff, but to me, it's big because I know people in my family have stuff like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and me being able to change my diet, lower my weight, I know it decreases my chance of that.
And identifying that those risk factors are there is so beneficial to acknowledge now, because you can make those changes now, which will help you outline your future and set yourself up for success. Okay, so what do you feel your ideal level of wellness would be at the end of the course of our coaching session?
What I visualize would have to be me in a state of to where I have lost the 30 pounds, even possibly more, that I'm fully engaged within my new diet or my new lifestyle, but that I'm also not having to worry about like we said before about like high blood pressure, diabetes, anything like that. I also visualize me, being in a state of me exercising, me working out, me jogging, running, whatever I had to do to stay healthy. And spiritually, just being able to be kind of one with myself. That's basically, what I visualize.
And that is a great vision to have, like, that you've set for yourself. I want to ask you one thing. So for you to have a greater sense of well-being in your life, what would you need to feel to feel like that?
I would have to say I would have to feel confident, and I'd have to feel creative. The two reasons I would say confident and creative, both because I feel like they both pertain to each of my goals.
Okay.
One, confidence, I feel like I have to have that confidence and strength to realize that even if I'm not at 30 pounds, but I feel great, that is something that should keep on motivating me, not bring me down. I need to have confidence to keep going on whatever my goal is. But then I say creativity also because I know diet plans and lifestyle changes are so hard for people. And it's hard because a lot of times that diet plan can be kind of boring and stale. So I know I have to be creative with my new diet plan, especially probably to start off, so I can realize what I like, what I don't like. And that will hopefully keep me on the right track of staying with that new diet plan or lifestyle.
And you're right. Creativity is a big factor in trying to find a ideal meal plan or diet for oneself. A lot of people's biggest complaints are that they get bored quickly on diets. So you're right. Being creative is going to be essential for you, and being confident with yourself throughout the whole process is also going to be something that we're going to have to dig deeper into. But what challenges do you anticipate yourself having throughout this process?
Well, I think the biggest challenge will be time. Just making sure I have the time to make my meals. I mean, I do plan on meal prepping. That was one of my short-term goals, but still, I need to make time to make my meals. I need to make time to exercise and do my cardio, do my weightlifting, so I can reach that goal of losing 30 pounds. But I would also have to say something that a problem I could possibly run into, which I have in the past, is money. I mean, being healthier is very expensive. And so that's something that I also want to kind of not run into.
Although that is going to be hard for you to not run into, because unfortunately it's a fact of life. We all run into, we want to be healthier, but the cost is so significant. But there are ways around that, and we will find ways to get over that hurdle.
All right.
But lastly, what people or items do you think that you'll utilize within this process? People are always a great source, a resource to utilize, but not everybody uses that. So for you, what do you find that you'll be reaching for throughout this process?
Well, I would definitely say people that I can lean on and give me support are definitely my family. I mean, a lot of members of my family, especially now, are also trying to become healthier and change to a healthier lifestyle. So I know that they would definitely be willing to either help me cook, or either help me work out, run, jog. I know they would definitely be willing to do that. But something I've actually invested in is definitely like a Fitbit watch. That is definitely something I would suggest to anybody, and it's great because being able to track your steps in other fitness areas of your life, I mean, it motivates you.
And you're right. I think you did a really good job this session. I think your competitiveness and wanting to be physically fit is going to keep you on the right track, along with your passion to want to stay away from the chronic illnesses that your family is running into. So I think all of these things will, if we put them in the right strategy, you will definitely be able to conquer these goals. So I think this would be a great place to end off on, but I definitely think we should pick back up around the same time next week.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
All right. Thank you.